Remember, your sensitivity is not weakness, it's your compass. It tells you when something's off and when you're aligned. So trust that. Trust yourself. You're the cultivator. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Talk with Chi, the podcast where we explore ancient wisdom, modern wellness, and everything in between. I'm your host, Gia, and today we are shifting from primordial to peaceful. We are exploring the deeply intuitive and heart centered blueprint of type A blood types, often known as the cultivator. Type A blood types are the gardener of the blood types, sensitive, intentional, and in tune with the world around them. While type O thrives on intensity, type A finds balance through calm, community, and conscious living. If you're someone who feels deeply, who tends to internalize stress, who needs structure and sincerity to thrive, you might be carrying the quiet power of the cultivator within you. This episode isn't just about food, it's about understanding how your nervous system, digestion, and emotions, along with your lifestyle, are interconnected. We'll talk about what kinds of nourishment type A thrives on, how to avoid burnout, overstimulation, and why routine and ritual with a plant based grounding can be deeply supportive. Because let's be honest, living in a high speed, high pressure world can be hard on a sensitive soul. But there's strength in sensitivity, there's wisdom in stillness. And when we align with our natural rhythm, everything from our digestion to our dreams begin to flow more freely. So, whether you're a type A or just curious about this energy type and blood type, today's conversation is here to help you soften into your own biology and listen to the whisper of your body's truth. So, let's step into the garden because type A is thought to be the first blood type to emerge after humans transition from nomadic hunting to settled agriculture. This was the age of farming community, building, and developing rituals around food, land, and healing. The body adapted to a new way of life, slower, more intentional, and reliant on the gifts of the earth. Type A individuals are believed to have a more sensitive immune system and a lower stomach acid, which means their bodies often digest animal proteins less efficiently than a type O. Instead, they tend to thrive on a plant based or whole food diet, full of vegetables, fruits, ligaments, and soothing grains like rice and oats. Here's a basic breakdown of what defines a type A blueprint: optimal fuel, fresh, organic, plant forward meals. Think leafy greens, berries, tofu, sprouted grains, miso, and herbal teas. Foods to minimize: red meat, dairy, and processed foods can be taxing on a type A system, leading to sluggishness, inflammation, and weakened immunity. Type A's thrive on superfoods: garlic for immune support, turmeric for inflammation, and fermented foods like kimchi for gut health. Type A's thrive on a calming, grounding form of movement. So, for exercise, think gentle yoga, tai chi, walking in nature, or Pilates. Those work wonder for regulating their system and a more delicate nervous system. Emotionally, type A folks often hold a deep sense of responsibility and care for others. They value harmony, peace, and organization. But under chronic stress, this can shift into anxiety, perfectionism, or emotional suppression. Their bodies need routine, stability, and time for rest. Many of type A clients tell me they feel completely off when life becomes too chaotic or unpredictable. But when they follow a routine that supports their calmer center, eating at regular times, practicing breath work, and getting quality sleep, their energy feels more expansive and deeply aligned. So, whether you're a type A or simply resonating with this energy, ask yourself: do I feel best when my meals are fresh, simple, and plant based? Does my body respond better to calm movement rather than intense cardio? Do I internalize stress and need regular routines and rituals to stay centered? If yes to any of these or all, you may be living by the wisdom of the cultivator. Now that we've covered the nourishing potential of a type A blueprint, let's dive into the flip side. because every strength has its shadow and every sensitive soul has its struggle. Type A individuals, while naturally peaceful and intuitive, are also more biologically prone to stress overload, immune sensitivity, and digestion challenges. Let's break it down. Because type A personalities often prioritize others' needs before their own, they can easily fall into chronic stress, especially in environments that are fast paced or high pressure. This stress just doesn't stay in the mind. It shows up in the body as elevated cortisol levels, tension headaches, tight shoulders, insomnia, restlessness, no sleep, fatigue, even after a full night's rest. And I know people are like, well, I feel this and that's not my blood type. However, we are all in this together. And as I'm solely focusing on type A's, it doesn't mean you don't have these attributes or certain things of the sort. Because over time, stress comes from everywhere and can weaken the immune system and throw the nervous system into disarray. Just keep that in mind. Also, type A's have a weak digestive fire. Their inner Agni is weakened. Unlike type O, type A tend to produce lower levels of stomach acid, which makes digesting heavy meats and fats a challenge. As a result, they may experience gas, bloating, especially after a high protein meal, digestion issues, sluggishness, constipation, nausea, and fullness from rich processed food. Type A's thrive on a plant based, lightly cooked meal. Because of that, it tends to feel much more supportive to their delicate digestive rhythm. Also, they experience autoimmune vulnerabilities. Researchers have suggested that type A individuals may be more prone to autoimmune conditions or immune system imbalancements, often triggered or worsened by chaotic stress or inflammation. This can look like a skin flare up, eczema, psoriasis, chronic fatigue syndrome, sensitivity to certain foods, or environmental triggers. This is why nourishing the immune system with antioxidant rich foods and grounding rituals is so essential. And finally, we all go through this one, but type A's are more prone to emotional suppression and anxiety because they care deeply about the harmony and not the quote unquote rocking of the boat. Type A individuals suppress their emotions, leading to chronic anxiety, nervous tension, trouble expressing needs or boundaries, and feelings of guilt when resting or saying no. The inner conflict can eventually manifest as any of the other things I've listed above: digestive, sleep disturbance, even depressive symptoms. But here's the truth: type A individuals carry a beautiful, quiet strength. But in order to thrive, they must honor their need for peace, predictability, and emotional expression. Now, let's shift into one of my favorite frameworks, Ayurveda. The lens of Ayurveda is all about balance. It teaches us that we carry a unique mix of the three doshas or our elemental energies, however you look at it. Our vata of air and ether, pitta of fire and water, and kapha of earth and water. While Ayurveda does not categorize by blood type, as I've mentioned before, when we look at a type A individual through this lens, we start to see the beautiful alignment. Many type A bodies resonate strongly with a kapha vata energy. Let's explore that. Kapha brings calm, compassion, and routine loving stability. It's the energy of the nurturer. You feel this in a type A's love and order, caregiving, and calming environments. Vata, on the other hand, brings sensitivity, creativity, and a tendency to worry or scatter under stress. Type A's often shift into Vata imbalancement, feeling anxious and mentally overactive or physically cold and dry. Sometimes, when a type A tries to push too hard or keep up with a type O energy, that Vata spike creates disconnection from their own body, from grounding habits and nourishment. So, what does Ayurveda teach us about nourishing the type A body? Balance for a Vata. When anxiety and restlessness showed up, lean into warm, cooked, oily foods, soups, khichdi. Sip on spiced tea, ginger, cinnamon. Embrace consistency, waking up, eating, and sleeping at regular times. Balance for your kapha. When stagnation or low moods arise, add movement to your day. Brisk walk, energizing yoga, dancing. Use light and bitter foods to stimulate your digestion. Leafy greens, apples, lentils. Avoid overeating or late night snacking, which can dull the digestive fire. And overall mind and body practices. Try breath work, try self massage, and try restorative yoga. Journaling and gentle emotional release to process held feelings. Silence, stillness, and regular meditation can help calm both the kapha and vata of this type A. And here's the beauty: Ayurveda doesn't just tell you what to eat, it teaches you how to feel, to observe, to reconnect. So when you're caring for your type A body, ask, what am I really needing? Warmth, movement, stillness, expression. When you start to answer those questions honestly and compassionately, balance becomes not just a possibility, it becomes natural. And that's what we're after, not perfection, harmony. Alrighty, my grounded intuitive type A friends, this is the part where we get into your personal blueprint for nourishment, ritual, and rhythm. If type O is the warrior, then you're the cultivator, the one who thrives on harmony, balance, and intentional living. Let's start with your digestive Agni. Because it is more sensitive, you need foods that are gentle, plant forward, and calming to your nervous system. When you eat in alignment with your nature, immunity strengths, and your mind cleared, your body feels light, not heavy. Type A bodies, as I've said, do best with a vegetarian or plant centric diet. That doesn't mean you avoid meat, it just means you take it in a different way. Your digestive system is not built to handle large amounts of animal protein or highly processed food. So, these consider if you are someone who does enjoy an animal protein diet, try and use less of the animal and more of these options. Leafy greens like kale, spinach, and romaine, plus broccoli, carrots, and garlic, are often best to help detox and support your immunity. Add some berries, apples, pineapples, or citrus fruits to give you the antioxidants and digestive enzymes your body craves. Add some whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, and oats to ground you, support, and sustain the energy that you need. These are your power carbs. Plant proteins, I know you're like, oh, but I rather not. Some of you. And some of you are open to this. Try tofu, black beans, lentils, almonds. Work well with your slower Agni. It helps nourish it. Fermented foods like miso, sauerkraut, and kombucha support gut health and improve your absorption of nutrients. Try incorporating some herbal teas, chamomile and green tea to help calm and nourish your body. Now, here's a list to go easy on. Limit or avoid at all costs. And I'm not saying change your diet immediately, but here are some things that you should limit at least: red meat and dairy, both of which, such a broad category, can cause bloating, sluggishness, and mucus buildup for you. Wheat and processed food. Your system does not like artificial additives or heavy grains. Nightshades like tomato, pepper, and eggplant can trigger the inflammation for some of the type A's. And caffeine and alcohol can overstimulate your natural, sensitive nervous system. Here are some rituals to restore you. Your system thrives on calm, not chaos. Remember that. The more you build gentle, nourishing rituals into your day, your body opens up to vitality. Start your morning slow, even if it means getting up a little early and going to bed a little early. Gentle stretching, lemon water, and meditation grounding for you goes a long way. Eat meals at the same time. Yes, I know it sounds very elementary, but try and have the same meal time. Your body loves routine. Midday, whether it's 10-minute tea break or walking in the sun, pause to center yourself. In this crazy, chaotic world we live in, try and give yourself 10 minutes to regulate your nervous system throughout a busy day. And in the evenings, dim the light, soft music, journaling, or reading to help to ease your mind before bed. An Ayurvedic tip for you guys: sip warm Tulsi tea after meals. It calms your gut and eases the stress, perfect for your constitution. And again, you guys don't need a high intensity movement formula to stay healthy. In fact, overextension can spike your cortisol and weaken your immunity. Your body responds beautifully to gentle flowing movement that calms your mind and supports your lymphatic flow. Think light yoga, Pilates, walking, Tai Chi. Aim for movement most days, but especially when you're feeling mentally overwhelmed. Add nature to your movement. Walks in the park, beach yoga, gardening can do wonders for you. Some anchors for you guys. Consistency is key. You do best with your structure. Erratic schedules wear you down. Prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality rest. Your immune system resets during sleep. Declutter your space. A tidy, peaceful environment supports your nervous system and helps you stay focused. Protect your peace. You absorb energy easily. Practice boundaries, energetically and emotionally. Type A, your true strength comes from your capacity of peace, presence, and purpose. When your food nourishes your body, your rituals soothe your mind, and your lifestyle supports your heart, you bloom, not by doing more, but by doing what feels right. Now, let's take a moment to talk about movement and stress. Two key ingredients in wellness recipe for my calm, loving type A's. Your system is wired for ease, harmony, and gentle flow, not chaos, not overstimulation, and definitely not crash and burn stress cycles. No one is. Your ancestors weren't chasing prey, they were cultivating crops, tending to communities, and practicing patience. This ancestral wisdom lives in your cells today. And when you honor it, your nervous system thrives. Let's start with how stress shows up for you. Type A's tend to internalize stress. You might not always look anxious, but inside, whole nother story. You worry quietly, often overthinking or people pleasing. You may experience tension in your stomach, nausea, acid reflux, or that nervous gut feeling. Your immune system is sensitive, and stress can lead to frequent cold or flares in inflammation. You might feel overwhelmed, too much noise, multitasking, or emotional intensity. Your gift is sensitivity, but without outlets, that sensitivity turns inwards and becomes pressure. So, how do we keep your system open and resilient? Unlike type O's, your body does not thrive on pounding workouts and intense excursions. In fact, too much intensity can raise your cortisol and weaken your immune response. What you need is movement that slows and soothes, strengthens, and gentle restores balance. Go with the flow. Take the grace in yoga, tai chi, Pilates, nature walks, light hikes, and especially dancing. Yes, I said dancing. Soft rhythmic music doesn't mean go to the club or go to like a lounge. Like it just means in your home. Put something soft and rhythmic on. Do it by yourself. Do it in front of a mirror. This brings you joy. Movement and emotion helps you. Yoga is not for everyone. I have understood that. But no one's saying go to a headstand. Take it gracefully. Do some stretches that allows your body to feel the energy flow through you. The goal is not for you to push harder. It's for you to return to your center. Also, you're highly affected by your environment and emotional energy, which means your wind down ritual matters. If you live in a busy city, if you're in the middle of the chaos all the time, your system needs a signal that it's safe to rest. Try leg up on the wall poses when you're home. It helps your lymphatic system and quiets the racing mind. Try self massaging with cool oils. Think coconut, sunflower, Brahman oil. Alternative nostril breathing makes a difference for you guys. Balance your left and right brain, brings clarity after a full day. Journaling or just brain dumping. Write everything out before you go to bed. Give yourself room in your mental spaciousness. And sound healing. These help slow brain waves when you shift into rest mode. Also, try a warm bath, rose petals, lavender oil in the evening. This ritual softens your body, rests your mind, and invites sleep. Yes, you're allowed to be luxurious. Type A, your medicine is the slowness, the stillness, and the soothing. Movement for you is not just about staying fit, it's about staying clear, open, and attuned to your body's subtle cues. So, breathe deeply, move mindfully, and make rest your ritual. Let's take a deep breath together. Inhale, exhale. You've just explored the world of Type A, the cultivator. We've touched on your ancestral strengths, ideal foods, the gentle rhythms, movement that truly nourish you, and the stress patterns that often whisper instead of shouting. But now it's time to pause, to reflect, because wisdom lands when we feel it, not just when we hear it. So, whether you're listening to this with a cozy warm cup of tea, sitting in the sun, or just laying there, this movement is for you. I invite you to grab your journal, a piece of paper, and simply let these questions land in your heart. One, where in my life do I feel the most at ease and flow? What environments, what people, what routines help me feel grounded and safe? Two, how do I tend to respond to stress? Do I internalize it, overthink, withdraw, or try to please others to avoid conflict? Three, in what areas of my life am I pushing too hard or saying yes when I mean no? What boundaries could protect my peace this week? And four, what does my nervous system need more of right now? Stillness, touch, routine, time away from the screen, nourishing food. There is no rush and no need to be perfect. The path of a type A isn't about performance, it's about presence, about something back into your own rhythm. Remember, your sensitivity is not weakness, it's your compass. It tells you when something's off and when you're aligned. So trust that. Trust yourself. You're the cultivator. And every small intentional step you take is a seed planted towards your healing. Alrighty, beautiful souls. That brings us to the end of today's exploration of the type A, the cultivator. If this episode felt like a deep exhale, if something within you softened, or you started to understand your sensitivity, but not as a flaw, as a gift, you're not alone. You're beginning to honor your gentle strength that lives inside you. And that is powerful medicine. If you're feeling to go deeper into your unique blueprint, your rituals, your boundaries, your nourishment, I'm here for you. You could book a one on one session with me for personalized guidance. We'll look at your blood type, your Ayurvedic constitution, your emotional patterns, and create rhythm that truly supports you. Whether you're struggling with anxiety, fatigue, people pleasing, or just feeling off, let's bring it back into balance together. You'll find the link to book in the show notes, or it's at www.atalkwithg.com. I love to hold space for you. And if this episode gave you even a one aha moment, please tag me, tell me about it. Tell me on TikTok or Instagram at A Talk with G and share where it landed. Your reflections light me up. Next week, we're diving into Type B, the nomad, the fascinating blend of adaptability, creativity, and complexity. You won't want to miss it. Until then, move slowly, breathe deeply, and remember, your softness is sacred.